Feminist arguments are almost never rooted in fact, bro. It's like belief system, like the wage gap. No offense, but it's been debunked a million times. Like,
I could debunk yours too, but we could do that all
okay,
night.
let's do it.
If you take literally one position in a company and you put a man and you put a woman, this is literally a study. I could Google it right now. Literally, they will be paid at a different rate. Why? Because the woman is seen as inferior. Yeah. She is not seen as an equal. Because you're taking like two completely different examples, like completely different sides. I'm talking about, no, take one position in a company, man and a woman, and then decide what they get. And then when you see that difference, then come back to me and tell me how that makes sense.
Are we talking like a CEO or something like that?
No, at a company, let's say, I don't know, an annulist, like a man annulist and a woman, completely different pay. Different pay.
You want to know why? There's always an explanation for it.
Okay, I want to know why.
If you're going to talk smack, then we got to peel it back a little.
You're right.
Can you educate us, please?
Men are far more likely to argue for higher wages than women are.
Why
Men
is
are
that?
less agreeable. Can you please stop cutting
I'm
me
just
off?
asking.
It's like extremely rude.
Penelope,
Like
you're
ridiculous, dude.
You're mute right now.
Like it's like ridiculous now at this point. So I've been very patient with you too.
The chat wants
you know what I'm
Frank
saying?
Castle.
Like they want you out. The chat's been saying get her the fuck out, but I ain't gonna do that because I think these are important discussions to be had, and I think it's important. Yo, unmute her mic. She's gonna chill. So men are far more likely to argue for higher wages than women are. Men are less agreeable. Women are more agreeable. It is what it is. It's just like on a balance of probabilities, women don't want to rock the boat. That's just how women are made. They're not made to be confrontational. It's all biological, man. Like, matter of fact, when we ask you guys questions, I don't know if you guys notice this trend. One girl would say something, and then another woman would either agree with her or respectfully disagree, but say, hey, listen, but I see why you would do that. Like, that's just how women communicate. They don't want to get into confrontation. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Women aren't built for confrontation like men are. It has to do with physicality and a bunch of other biological backgrounds.
I'm definitely built for confrontation, 1,000%. And I think you guys agree with each other. The people here agreeing with you, so you can't really be like, oh, we all agree with each other because we're women. No, all these people are also agreeing with you guys.
Here's the thing. We're making these stances based on fact. Like I told you, women. There's a bunch of reasons why women get paid less than men, but that is a big reason that men tend to fight for higher wages than women do.
Because they feel like they can, because that is what women have been told their whole lives, to cross their legs, to take up less space. Like, these things literally follow you throughout your entire life. So of course, like when you have two different jobs and the woman ends up getting less because she can't argue her point, why is that?
No,
because there's so many generational shit that's gone on. Like,
she can, but it's just that, like I said,
but she doesn't,
women are less likely to do it. But whose choice is that though?
It's a woman's choice.
Hey, see how it always goes back to the woman's choice?
But it's not a choice when you literally don't even know that you're able to do something. Like, you're talking about generational, like, shit, like, psychological things that have happened to these women, you know what I mean? That, like, you think, oh, because you're saying, like, oh, it's invisible, whatever you said, where it was, like, privilege is invisible
to those that have it.
Same thing, but flips for your end.
No,
whatever you guys have is invisible, whatever, you understand what I'm saying? Like, basically, whatever we have going on is visible to you.
I'll tell you right now.
Because you can argue.
Because there's an invisible burden of performance on men. There's not a burden of performance on women, okay? When two men meet and shake hands, first thing that's done is, what do you do for work? Men tend to define each other by careers. Women tend to define each other by families. Am I saying that's the right way to do it or whatever it is? That's just how it is. Men talk about things, women tend to talk about people. Women are more social creatures, men are more objective-based, men are creators. It is what it is. The world that we live in, everything was created by men. I'm not sitting here saying men are better than women. No, what I am saying is that obviously translates into the workplace. Men are far more likely to fight for higher wages because men are looked at to be provisioners and providers, and our identity is based on how much money we earn. So yes, men are going to be less agreeable when it comes to wages. Is that the man's fault that he went into the boss's office and fought for higher wages when the woman chose not to? Like I told you.
I mean, well, hold on. We're assuming that they fought for higher wages.
That's a very tangible fact that is brought into the wage gap.
It could be one of the facts, but essentially, if the company offered two completely different packages for those people, one of them could be less for the woman than the man. So, like, I don't even know how we got to, like, oh, one of them argued more. Like, the man argued for more money.
Because you said women get paid less doing the same job, and I told you there's a reason why.
But at the same time, like, you don't think there's ever a spot in a position, a man and woman, for an analyst, and one of them gets a higher pay than the other, like, just out the gate without arguing?
I mean, that's a possibility, but it could go both ways.
But so is yours.
But
yours is a possibility.
No. But here's the difference. It is statistically shown that men are less agreeable when it comes to arguing for higher wages.
We need to
can talk about it. Jordan Peterson, literally, Google him. He had a 1 hour debate with a woman, a feminist columnist from the UK, where she tried to say the wage gap, and he broke it down 100% why women make less money than men on a balance of probabilities. I'm telling you, there's a burden of performance on men financially where there's not as much on women. Women are far more likely to take off work and care for their children. A bunch of women I know, anecdotal and also shown in the studies, when a woman rises through the ranks and she has children, her mindset changes. Kids come first. Fuck the career. Men are willing to sacrifice a lot of things to go to work and provide for their family. That's why the traditional family has worked so long. The man goes to work, the woman stays and nurtures the children. It is what it is. That's just the way it goes. Men, there is a invisible burden of performance on us financially. That is why men make more money. That's why we take more risk. That's why we work more hours, because men know that their value is determined by how much money they earn. Now, you can complain and sit here, men make more money than women. They do, but that's by female choice as well.